key thing we must need to understand is for any media company or for any kind of content, what is clearly changed and what is clearly changing really, really fast is the consumer, right? Uh, if you look at anybody who is 1990 and born 1990 onwards, and somebody who was born in 1990 is already 25 years old, right? And you'll find that these are the people who are going to be the consumers of tomorrow of anything, whether it's any device, services, products, or even media for that matter. And curiously enough, as far as media is concerned, the post 90 born today hardly ever actually interacts in depth with the traditional forms of media. I don't think you find people watching television more than half an hour of this genre, watching television more than half an hour at a time, or reading a newspaper for that matter. And these are the kind of consumers that we are trying to, that we have to kind of contend with tomorrow, right? And if that's what we are supposed to be doing, then media has to kind of evolve to meet the demands of those forms, those kinds of consumers. And frankly, for those kinds of consumers, the essential form of media today is no longer broadcast or no longer unicast. It's essentially intercast. It's how consumers and publishers, consumers and content creators interact with each other all the time, and how consumers can have a say in everything that media has to opine on or talk about or report on. And that's the key behavioral shift that is going to take place, and which is essentially leading to personalization of content, personalization of communication, leading to on demand as the key focus area as far as communication and media is concerned. I no longer want to sit and wait for the 8:30 news bulletin or the 8:30 TV show. I want to watch it at 12 o'clock at night or whenever it's convenient to me. And that's the key differentiation that's actually taking place today. City of Bombay, you find people traveling by train or by buses, etc., constantly fiddling with their phones and constantly watching and consuming content on the go. Now that is something that you didn't see 3 years before 3 years, honestly. And more, data penetration on mobile phone is happening. More and more video consumption is taking place, and as a result of which, people are becoming consumers in general are becoming more aware of the fact that media consumption is no longer a time bound or a habit bound proposition. It's something that is entirely left to the discretion of the end consumer, and therefore consumer attention and consumer affinity to media brands and media channels are becoming more and more frivolous. So, which is becoming a challenge for media companies world over. Take an example of our own company, for instance. ZTV is a well-known general entertainment channel. We have almost 34 other channels as well, in India as well as all over the world. And a lot of our audience base, a lot of our revenues, a lot of our subscribers are from the traditional space. But at the same time, what we are finding today is more and more consumers are actually watching our content on various alternative platforms that are available on digital. For instance, we have over-the-top platform called Ditto TV, or we have our content on our websites as well as on our YouTube channels. And people, consumers in general, find ways to look up that content, not necessarily the content that is currently playing out on TV alone, but also the content that's that's maybe 2 seasons ago, and people are constantly revisiting content to to be better informed and better engaged as far as their content needs are concerned.